Good morning, Euphorians, and welcome to UFOR New York, your home for all things Euphoria. We're your hosts, Alex and Paige. How's it going this fine morning, Paige?
You know, the weather's crisp, a little rain outside, coffee in hands, recovering from last night's episode. I don't know what else. It's weird being here.
Yeah, it's a holiday, so we're recording in the daytime in the morning. Morning for us, meaning like 2 p.m. But
I was going to say, it's literally almost 3.
that is our morning. You know, we're notorious for showing up at the coffee shop at 3 p.m. right before they close, and they always give us a hard time about it. So it's very on brand. But
Very on brand.
This is morning for us, so good morning. It's weird to be recording in the daytime. We're drinking coffee instead of Cooks.
Yeah, cheers.
But that's all right. Maybe we'll get into some harder stuff later. Cheers.
Perhaps. But... yeah, no, Alex and I are horrible. Like, all of our baristas always laugh at us because we'll, like, show up to get coffee literally as they're, like, closing the doors. And to us, it's, like, early. So...
late sleepers.
I feel energized, though. I feel excited.
Do you?
Yeah.
Great.
No, I do. I feel energized. I do. I didn't sleep very well. But the part of the reason I didn't sleep is because I was thinking about that episode and just like my mind was literally like real. I'm not even like being funny or like playing it up.
Episode adrenaline.
No, I'm not like playing it up to be like cute on the pod. I actually was like just thinking about a lot. Well, and I knew we were recording in the morning versus like later, and we usually have more time to like sit on things. And I was just kind of like, I was just wired about it all. Mm-hmm. So much goes down.
The excitement.
I know people that are saying this show's boring all along. I just want to say you were wrong.
I don't see what's boring. The second to last episode, things continue to just escalate even further. Next week, it's the big finale. Unfortunately, in news, I'm not going to be here for the finale episode. I have to travel for work, and I will be out of the country, so I don't get to be here for the final episode, which is a real slap in the face after 3 years of doing this. That I don't get to do the finale live with you, but I'm gonna phone in, virtually.
Yeah, Alex and I we're gonna meet about it like later this week. This was very like unexpected, so this was not something that's been planned. I mean, we did not know when the season was gonna come out, so this is a trip Alex obviously cannot be excused from. So we're gonna do everything we can to make it work. He'll be international, so the time zones will be weird, but we are definitely, no matter what, going to get Alex's live reaction. Whether we don't know what it's going to look like yet, but we'll make sure we capture it. And then we were kind of talking about it like...
unfortunate.
It's the season finale, but it's not so Euphoric's finale. Like, we will definitely be doing maybe some other episodes after the next recap. So just, just wanted to put that out there. Didn't want everyone to be sad that you weren't here in person for like the last one, so.
Yeah, it won't be the last episode of our show, but it is the last episode of Euphoria, allegedly. We'll see.
That's true. That is true. I'm acting like it.
Seems like that's a little unknown.
Sure.
But yeah, here we go. Episode 7. I think, after last week, we kind of laid out possible models for how 7 and 8 would go down.
Yeah.
This definitely adhered to one of the models we laid out, which is... Episode 7 cruises along, and near the end, everything goes really bad right at the end of episode 7, and then gets resolved in 8. That's a classic formula, and that's the one we got here.
Yeah.
Things go very bad at the last possible second.
I mean, I mean, the episode title, Rain or Shine, and we just go right into Ollie's opening, which I love. It's like, I'm glad we saved this for... toward the end of season 3 because I feel like Ollie's been such a like cornerstone of Euphoria. He's been such a cool character and works so well with Rue. I mean, Coleman and Zendaya separately, like just them as actors together are incredible. I love watching them on screen. I feel like he was really owed a backstory, and we've all kind of like, I thought even maybe season 2 we would get it. So I do feel like this was a good move and very necessary for...
Well, it goes perfect, too, with the back-to-back Alamo, Ollie backstories, just further highlighting their dichotomy as kind of good and evil influences, the little devil and the angel on Rue's shoulders.
That's a good point. I actually didn't, pick up on that little note we made.
Last week we get the devil backstory, and this week, we get the angel's backstory.
Yeah. But I mean, I like how it opens with Rue saying, if there is a beginning, there must be an end. And, you know, obviously we've been leading up to this moment and we still are. We don't know what Rue's fate will be, but that's kind of a daunting opening to this episode.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of what her ending will be, we have the two models are laid out before us.
Sure.
She's obviously going, she's going down the good path. There's
a lot, though, that could happen.
She's following Ollie's model, but it's interesting how they both present to her kind of the different paths she could take in life. Alamo learning as a child, to use people and that being a way. That's how Rue's been operating lately, smuggling fentanyl and stuff. And now we see Ollie, whose model is ultimate, redemption through service, basically. Yeah. He's seeking to balance the scales cosmically for all the bad he did by doing as much good as he possibly can. That's obviously the path that's struck a chord with Rue, and she's trying to emulate Ollie's path by doing good acts,
which is a much better path.
Out. Yeah, she's, we see how she's doing that. She's trying to do what he is doing. She's trying to do ultimate good acts, even when they come at personal expense or risk, to balance the scales for all the evil she's done.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I wrote, what a gem of a man. I mean, honestly, too, actually, no. I'm already stepping back.
Even as a crackhead, he was a gentleman.
I was going to say that, literally jokingly, and then I'm like, no, not really. Like, that scene with his wife and kids, I literally took a note and was like, his family is so cute, and you're just like, again, it's going back to what we keep saying, like, Sam does such a good job of depicting addiction. Like, you could look at that life and be like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you have two, adorable daughters, your wife's, banging, and you're out with, this gross ginger hooker every night smoking crack. It just it's just sad. It just shows that again, it can be people who look the most normal on the have the picture perfect family. I did notice though, and I know I'm probably dumb for this, but I did not ever pick up that Ollie's character was in the military. Did you?
This is the first time that they've shown that, as far as I know. Yeah.
I didn't have time to look back and go, did we ever get any insight on that?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure we would have made note of that.
Yeah.
For sure, if that's true. Had come up before. So yeah, we learned that he is a Desert Storm vet. Yeah. And then also maybe a firefighter. He has a firefighter t-shirt on at one point, and that's a very common next career after the military.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he's in very good shape,
I was going to say he's ripped.
I took a note.
Coleman is ripped.
Sense. That makes sense with the firefighter thing, so.
Yeah, Coleman looked good. I meant to, literally say that out loud. He was looking good.
Yeah,
for a crackhead.
He's very,
he was a hot crackhead.
Oh, yeah. He's that meme have you seen that classic meme where it's, the white guy that's this with his shirt off, and he's, 3 weeks on the crack and still look good.
I couldn't know, but that is...
It's a classic.
That's Ollie.
Yeah, that is Ollie. He looks better than that guy.
But yeah, I loved him and Natasha Lyonne's banter. It was so great. She was perfect.
That was funny.
Even though her part was short, I was it was great. They worked really well together as scene partners, for sure.
They're doing the whole fighter thing, and she's like, what does he eat for breakfast? And he's like, pussy and crack cocaine. Yeah. And she goes, delicious.
Well, I like to I forget exactly the quote, but when she's like, and tonight we bring you from the Roach Motel.
Yeah.
Ali.
Yeah, that was all funny. But yeah, he's definitely the classic drunk dad character that's kind of he's playing it funny and cute, and the kids might like him in those times a little bit because he's being the bad guy,
well, also the fun parent,
poking fun at the mom, the fun parent. Yeah.
Which you hear that a lot in relationships.
Kind of like Lexi and Cassie's dad a bit.
Exactly. I was just going to say, you hear that a lot in relationships, unfortunately, where the parent that's less around or less present, the kids tend to be more excited to see because they're not there doing the parenting. They're, living their life. So when they come, it's exciting.
They show up charismatic and fun with gifts or whatever.
Yeah, so that sucks for his wife. I feel sorry for her. But I also said... just his story, it's so scary. I feel like you and I have definitely touched on this, but just in America in general, it's so scary how I was thinking about when he's in the hospital and they're just feeding him prescription, whatever pain pills right away. And you're damn, it's so scary that even, again, like, all these just, like, paths of what could lead to being an addict. Obviously that wasn't his story, but I know so many people that, like, after a car accident have, like, become an addict from just getting certain medication.
Maybe it is his story. He was in the military.
Yeah, it's just scary, though.
But, yeah.
It's so freaky that you could be, like, under care in the hospital.
The fucking opioid crisis of America.
Yeah, it's freaky.
Yeah.
But I also took a note. I, again, want to, like, praise Sam for how he writes COVID into the shows, because you and I have, like, joked that a lot of, like, the modern television that's out right now, it's so cringe when the pandemic's brought up. Like, it just doesn't feel natural. It feels very jarring. And that's not just because we're tired of, like, talking about it. Like, I get it. We all obviously don't love reflecting on COVID. Like, who wants to reflect on that? But it's obviously necessary. And I think the way he, like, wove it into just Ali's story was actually made me, like, really sad thinking about all the people during that time that, like, must have went through that. Like, I had obviously never thought of that, but I'm like, yeah, how awful if you were, like, a struggling addict and you were relying on, like, AA meetings at the time or, like, group situations and not having that. Like, ooh, it was just really dark, like, seeing him with his book, writing everyone's name and the date. You're like, yeah, that must have been so real, especially at that time. Like, I just was feeling really, like, human in that moment, thinking, like, shit, like, that would suck to have a loved one struggling through something like that, and then the pandemic hits, and you, like, can't be around anyone. You don't have that outlet or therapy.
I know, I heard a lot during the time that the social isolation was very, difficult mental health wise for a lot of people for this kind of thing, you know.
Sure. I guess I just hadn't
for
thought
a lot
of it
reasons, but
from like that hardcore of a
the COVID stuff's interesting. You know, you could do a whole episode about the portrayal of COVID and in media and how it's been portrayed and what's been focused on and what stories have been told about it and how that's going to change. And it's interesting because we're really at the cutting edge of that. Like, this is just, you know, the very beginning of stories starting to be told about it. And you're right, we have seen a lot of, like, cringy stuff. So far,
it was done well.
Yeah, it's fine.
It wasn't the focus.
I have no issues with it, but it is really interesting how you could look at this type of thing, you know.
Sure. Like, it was showing, like, him with his mask on, like, knocking at the door and it's locked. And you're like, shit, I guess I just didn't really think of that. Like, you know, me being so over here, like, complaining like COVID was so bad. I was doing the opposite. I was, like, drinking every night with you, like, treating it like a spring break, and it was just kind of breaking my heart to think, oh, for someone else that was like the lowest point of their life. And I knew
starting this podcast.
Yeah, it's like the reason we did this, because we were literally like, Alex and I were just losing our minds. So I just thought, you know, it just made me like reflect and think like, wow, like, first of all, like, a blessing that my experience wasn't that, but also like my heart goes out to anyone where it was bad, because that just made me really sad and like just made me feel shitty, honestly. I was like, damn, that's rough.
Yep. The book was interesting too. Back to like kind of the Ollie Alamo thing, the duality there, you know. It's not just about like what's the path of good and evil for Rue. It's also about how she deals with life, including like what is her strategy for embracing or dealing with like challenge and pain. And in the past she's always embraced like you know, take drugs, run from the pain, like hide from the escapism, avoidance, like, which is much more the Alamo like model. Like, if somebody's a problem, like, you get rid of them and you don't think about them anymore. And they're like wiped out, whereas Ollie is doing the like confrontational work. He's like embracing the pain, confronting it head on, remembering, keeping those people like front and center in his life, and like living literally with that pain, like, because he feels like it's his burden to like, you know, kind of carry and live with that pain, I think, a bit as kind of an act of service to those people, to remember them. And Rue's traditionally been, you know, avoiding at all costs, and now she's having to learn to deal with her pain in a different way. So it's not just so simple as good and evil. It's also kind of like, how do you deal with like this type of thing in your life. Yeah.
Sure. That's a good reflection, because I mean, I obviously wrote also the obvious off that, which is, you know, I'm sure everyone was thinking the same, which is you're hoping Rue's name and date isn't added to that book. Like, I really don't want that fate for her. I thought maybe that was a way to, like, lay out, you know, the possibility, right? I'm actually still 50-50, and we can talk about it deeper into the episode, but I do think there's a purpose behind showing that more than just, you know, and you laid it out beautifully. Like, I didn't even really think about that, but you're right. Like, especially when we consider how Rue and Jules, like, our discussion of their relationship last episode, I'm like, yeah, that ties into what you just said. Like, kind of finding, like, these things to distract, if you will, or escape, and then ditching them when they're not working, and, like, moving on to the next.
Well, Angel, obviously, you know, with Rue finding Angel's ID later, Rue's kind of very much been, like, kind of just forgetting about Angel. She really just kind of swept that under the rug, and she talks kind of lightly about it with Jules, and we've seen moments where she's, like, kind of thought about it, but she hasn't really, like, confronted that or dealt with it seriously.
No.
So is this going to be, like, you know, the moment she writes Angel's name in the book and remembers her and deals with, her role in, like, you know, basically selling Angel to sex trafficking, probably, is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Or, you know, is she going to kind of, like, sweep that under the rug and ignore it as well?
I would hope not, you know, with all this, but...
Yeah, I don't think so, but, you know, she has been doing that so far.
For sure.
Much. I felt like she's been very dismissive about what happened to Angel, and now she's forced very much to
reckon with everything.
With the name and the face, literally,
and her participation in it, you know, even if she wasn't aware of it, you know, it doesn't matter. It's all actions equal consequence. Well, I think unless you have anything else about, you know, Ollie's opening, I mean, it was beautifully done. Love Coleman.
I did think when he was in the funeral scene, I was like, they're just totally trying to do Labyrinth's music.
Oh,
when Ollie's attending the funeral of his friend. Yeah, it sounded like very like knockoff Labyrinth.
I think, to be fair, to play like neutral here, I have to think that this all happened last minute. So I wonder if part of it was like last minute they're missing those pieces, like maybe meaning I'm sure Hans did intentionally make Labyrinth like music. It could have just been like, well, that's where a Labyrinth song was, so what the hell are we like gonna do? And
on that note, I after last week being like I really liked the music, this week I was like
oh my god, I was opposite.
Didn't hit for me. Didn't even notice it.
So like opposite
much. It was kind of just like unimpressed at a few points.
Interesting. I was opposite. This week I kind of thought it was really cinematic, very emotional, very moving. I thought like...
I was kind of underwhelmed.
I wasn't... I guess like the whole season I just have the same like... Sure, episode to episode we've varied, but I will say like all throughout I just have felt like it's just not that great.
Yeah.
It's just like I would have to score it.
Overall, it's like a 6. 6.5 out of 10.
It's doing okay. It's fine. It's not assaulting, but it's just...
Yeah, agree.
And I did show Alex from the last episode, I showed him Labyrinth's new track, Tarantino, and he was like, love this, banger. Like, we were drinking to it over the weekend.
Yeah, the whooping is still a little hard for me, but otherwise, I really liked it, and I think it would have been even better in the scene than the song we got.
Yeah.
Assuming we know which scene it was supposed to go to.
Sure. Well, next up, I have, you know, Big Eddie with Alamo.
Yeah, so correction, it was not Big Eddie getting killed in the shower.
Obviously,
when he showed up. In the other episode, that was the bodyguard outside the door.
We also did clear that up last episode.
Okay, yeah.
So that you remember.
Yep.
Okay. But I thought this was funny online.
He's for sure alive.
I saw people calling him Bag Eddie.
Bag Eddie, oh man. Poor Eddie, he didn't deserve that.
And we're right back to poop for you. Big Eddie's got a poop bag.
Every episode, he's got a poop bag. And it's leaking later while he's driving. And Alamo's poking it with the stick. It's like, oh, jeez.
I also wrote, only Alex will understand this, but I was extremely triggered by... There were a lot of staples in this episode. His stomach was stapled.
Yeah.
And Coleman, if you notice, when he's laying in the hospital bed, his whole chest is stapled.
Yeah.
Without getting into the details of how this happens, it's humiliating. I literally, like... What was it, a year ago?
One of us has had staples.
A year ago, I hit my head on a table and got like three or four staples in the back of my scalp. Can confirm, weirdly, very painful while they were in, but oddly enough, getting a staple in and out, no big deal. Literally could barely feel it. But watching when he's tapping it with his cane, tapping his chest staples, I was like, Alex knows this.
Triggered.
If you would have gone near me with a rule, like, I don't care, I would have screamed. Like, they're very tender when they're in. So when he flinched, my whole body was like, ooh, I couldn't even watch it. It was horrible. So, Big Eddie, I have your back on this. So sorry that happened to you.
Big Eddie's got him a whole new booty hole, as Alamo says.
Killing me. I like too when he was like nasty. Like,
he goes, don't be showing that to nobody. Great.
Alamo, again, like, I will just keep saying it. Excellent. And Wale is so funny. He's really great. Good.
Yeah, Alamo's a great character.
He's so menacing, but like so fucking funny too.
Yeah, he's very charismatic.
I love him. He's just like perfect for this. So great casting there. But yeah, that whole new booty hole.
Yep.
Euphoria. We can dig into this later, I guess, or maybe this is the time. I'll wait till later. I have a question about Big Eddie and his role and everything. Or do you want me to ask you now?
Hit me.
So is he in with the DEA?
No, why? What would make you think that?
Okay, so I'm not crazy. I looked into this immediately after the episode because, as you all know, Alex and I don't talk after we watch it anymore. So I was like dying to ask him and get his idea on this, but everyone online, I went and like searched after the episode and everyone thought the same thing. So when he's in the ambulance, as he's driving it, you can hear the DEA like talking like in the ambulance, almost as if it's on a phone and it's like recording. They're like, all right, they're in the car, they're heading that way.
They're not talking to him, they're listening to the van.
But how are they listening to the van? How would they have
now
ever
they can
tapped
bug
the van?
Because now they have all the recording from the drug deal last week that gives them all the everything they need to get the warrant to like wiretap the van and stuff.
So I hear you, and I also had that thought, obviously. But then you're kind of thinking, like, what if Big Eddie is the undercover? What if you were wrong all this time thinking it was Bishop? What if it was Big Eddie and him getting shot was, like, annoying because he's, like, undercover? Maybe he wasn't expecting, like, that to ever happen. And I do think it would make sense in terms of, like, who's going to maybe show up and, like, help Rue out. Like, I know this is really far-fetched, but everyone's like, he was her dad and, like, Casey undercover, like, they have this, like, bond in real life, like, maybe, like, your face is making me laugh. I'm like,
I don't think so.
Really? Because I was like, hey.
Why is he... Why is he
people think he's the undercover cop.
Why do we even think that there's another undercover cop? We just got interesting vibes from Bishop earlier. But why do we really think there's anyone other than Rue?
I'm saying not another. Now I'm like, oh, maybe I was wrong. Bishop was always the devoted one, which we talked about. Meaning if he's not undercover, he's just a devoted, like, got ya. Like, and it just got me thinking, rewatching the episode again this morning, I was like, oh, like, Big Eddie kind of does give, like, undercover cop vibes. He kind of, like, controls the safe. He's a little, like, of a character. I don't know.
But why do you think anyone's undercover other than Rue? We only thought that earlier because we thought Bishop was giving weird vibes.
I think it'd be an interesting element for storytelling purposes. I think, like, having someone there when shit goes down. So, like, let's say, like, Rue's in a debacle where she's about to do something crazy, like kill Alamo, like the Nazis want her to, like maybe he'll be there to like intervene, or maybe I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. It's a thought.
I don't see it. I don't know why.
Well, I'm not alone. Majority of the internet.
I don't know why or how he.
Majority of the internet was like, oh, like bag Eddie.
I think the only way it makes sense is if they came to him after he got shot.
I also
because what would be we just don't know anything, but like we're not aware of any reason he would be working with them in the first place. We don't know why they would they ever need Rue if they already had someone as high up in Alamo's organization as Big Eddie. Why would they have Rue do this whole operation?
Oh, that's fair.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, sometimes, okay, catch me if I'm wrong. Can't there be undercover people that sometimes, like on SVU, Law and Order, I feel like this always happens where someone's undercover and someone else running the case like doesn't know that, and they like meet
course.
and they're like, I'm undercover, my dude.
I mean,
like,
that's The Departed. Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
So
but Alamo's organization isn't that big, and if they already had Big Eddie, why would they need? But
maybe he was going after Lori. I don't know. Anyways, we don't need to dive too deep. I just wanted to bring that up because it was all over the internet.
I think they're just tapping the van because now they have everything. They can get any warrant they want after the conversation Rue taped last episode.
Okay, well, you'll think this is funny. Now they're tapping everything. People think that he has a phone in the poop bag and it's like recording.
What? What the hell?
I'm like, maybe.
He doesn't even need a secret phone. They're allowed to have phones. Nobody said they couldn't bring their phones on the run. Why does he need a secret in the poop bag phone?
It's Euphoria, you know?
Oh my god.
Anyways.
No.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
No.
We'll see.
All right.
Alex is going to be floored when in the finale Bag Eddie grabs the phone out of the poop bag.
Maybe he has a secret gun in there. That would make more sense. Like, he rips the bag open and there's like a little pistol in there and like a plastic bag. Yeah. Well, hopefully it's in a bag, but yeah. Sure.
Oh my god. Okay. We're going we're derailing over here.
Oh yeah, because he was like, next time maybe we should all have guns. Maybe he does have a gun in the poop bag. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
prediction for next episode, everybody.
I don't know about this whole this branch we've gone down.
Okay.
Back to the the main trunk of the tree.
So then we go into Rue and Lexi in the apartment, unless you have anything else to note. So, loved this scene. Again, despite everyone hating on Lexi, I think she is still acting probably how I would, and maybe that's why I'm defensive of her. I don't mean that means she's not being judgmental or there's not some problems here, but I'm just saying overall that is exactly how I would have reacted to my previous drug addict friend speaking to me when I'm like trying to get my day job done, and I've like let you stay on my couch. I've let things slide for years. Like, I've had your back. So I'm just putting that out there because, again, I get the sense that everyone is such a Lexi hater and is so quick to just, like, assassinate her option of maybe being a little judgmental. And I'm kind of like, well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, she is a little judgmental, but we all have to remember that
again,
first of all, we've all seen Rue in only the little bit of her life that we have seen be completely heinous to like everyone that she loves and is close to. And there were 5 years in between season 2 and 3 when Rue was like heavily like on that shit. So she's probably put all these people through the ringer so many goddamn times and traumatized them all and stuff. It's like, the love and the care and the friendship is that Lexi is still like opening her door to Rue and like letting her stay on her couch. It doesn't mean that she has to like entertain her going on about Nazis and
black cowboys
and the DEA. Like, she still loves her enough to like give her a roof over her head. But,
of course.
Yeah, she is trying to do her job, and Rue's over here, reading the Bible and spiraling about religious psychosis.
You know me, I just always like to bring balance back to the plot. I'm kind of like, everyone, can we just calm down? Like, trust me, I love Rue, I adore her, but like at the same time, like let's us not forget like what she's done to a lot of these characters.
Agree.
So
Lexi also gets points because she has a sick Breathless poster.
I saw that. I knew you were gonna bring that up.
Baller.
It was her whole apartment's a vibe.
Blasphemy. I haven't seen the original Breathless, but I've seen the '80s American version with Richard Gere,
blasting you. It's
which
okay.
I did. Well, the '80s one with Richard Gere is amazing. So that's credit enough alone. But I'll have to watch the old one now, so that I'm not a fake fan.
Well, I loved when she was like, "Can you like while I'm writing, like just go read your Bible." She's like, it's weird, like, just go read the Bible.
Rue's like, I'll be over here reading my Bible.
And then I'm laughing. Rue's literally me in, like, Mormon church, like, never getting past, like, Genesis. Like, but I did laugh. Did you also take note? Like, she's literally reading Exodus 3, and she's has her finger, like, on the part where the bush, like...
You can see her eyes, like, crossing. She's, like, trying to
she's going really slow.
The old-timey language.
She's also giving me, like, ADHD, where she reads, like, maybe 2 words, and then is like, so, Lexi, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
Like, that's me, like, with Alex during a movie, like, not being able to just shut the fuck up and like pay attention. But I loved the part where she is going back and forth, like you mentioned, and Lexi's like, whoa, wait, like I thought you worked for a cowboy, and I'm laughing that that's even like normal to be like, again, to defend Lexi,
because
like
says she's like, Lexi, I've been working with Nazis.
And she goes, I think.
I think I've been working with Nazis.
And Lexi's like, what do you mean you think?
I thought you were working for a black cowboy.
Yeah. Again, like, to give Lexi credit, like, letting your friends sleep on your couch when you go, what are you doing for work these days? And they reply, I'm just working for some black cowboy. And she's like, all right, I'll just...
How about the Nazis? Like, that's
crazy.
Yeah, no.
And then she's like, the DEA? Like, what the fuck? It's all, like, just so unhinged. And
I was wondering if Lexi's going to incorporate all that into the Cassie storyline she's writing for LA.
I actually wrote that. I said I actually think Sam... I'd be
funny.
happy if she did. I think it's going to be a little bit of Lexi's play maybe in the next one. Not as, like, elaborate. But I do think LA Knights is going to maybe simultaneously, like, portray what's happening in the finale was my prediction. In some way.
Yeah, maybe she's inspired by Rue's story.
But,
yeah, I could see that too.
The only thing I will say to end on my defense of Lexi is I did think, though, it was hurtful and too far when she said, like, no wonder your mom doesn't talk to you.
Yeah, totally. She was out of line for that one, for
out
sure.
Out of line.
No question.
Definitely out of line. Just like Jules was a little out of line for the slap. But, again, I think there's some parallels there of...
The slap's all right. I don't think it was that out of line.
I meant, though,
this is way worse.
But there's a parallel of these people around Rue are clearly triggered. Like, there's things that they have been suppressing because they love Rue. And like you mentioned, she's very childlike. She's very manipulative. She is, even if she doesn't realize she's being manipulative, like, she's someone you immediately feel sorry for. And that can fuck with your head. So I think... just as a reminder, like, all these characters that everyone's hating on so harshly, I do think they have things in common. I think Jules and Lexi are at, like, a breaking point. They're just like, how many times am I going to be, like, tricked by you, feel sorry for you, help you, to then be, like, talked to about all this crazy shit? Like, I didn't blame her for thinking she was using. I would think the same fucking thing if my friend who was an addict sat down and was talking about seeing God in a burning bush. I'd be like, are you using again? Like,
Rue's definitely in, like, full-on religious psychosis right now. She's totally, like...
grasping for fucking
interpreting
straws.
everything in her life through this religious lens, and she hasn't even... she's not even halfway through the Bible yet, and she's already, like, reading the signs, and, you know...
I know.
It's, but she did see the burning bush, I guess.
Oh, one thing before we depart...
the endangered Joshua tree.
I know, I loved how she said that.
God lit an endangered tree on fire to talk to you.
And Lexi is like, again, just so giving me when it comes to like religion in general, and that's me being a little bit of a hater, just being kind of like, like, please. Before we depart though, I noticed, I don't know if you did you notice like the book on Lexi's desk? Do you know what it is?
The title and author I wrote down to look up for it were wrong, and then I didn't have time to revisit it, so you should tell me. What is it?
So, I have my phone out because I screenshot the plot, but it's Some Luck by Jane Smiley.
Okay, I got the author name wrong.
It's, so, I'm not going to go too much into detail, but I did think it was a little, maybe, like, related. I don't think Sam puts stuff in anything without there being something. Okay. It's pretty much about a family that lives on a farm in Denby, Iowa. And it's based in post-World War I in like the 1950s. Some Luck gives us an intimate look at this family's triumphs and tragedies, zooming in on the realities of farm life while casting as the children grow up and scatter to New York and California and everywhere between a panoramic eye on the monumental changes that marked the first half of the 20th century. Rich with humor and wisdom, twists, and surprises, Some Luck takes us through deeply emotional cycles of births, deaths, passions, betrayals, displaying Smiley's dazzling virtuosity, compassion, and understanding of human nature and the nature of history, never discounting the role of fate and chance. I thought, it's not like a direct correlation, but the farm... the betrayal, the passion, the death. I thought it's
so general.
Some luck.
It's like,
it could even
it's like, but it's like Euphoria, but it's very general, you know.
Sure, but I thought
interesting.
Funny that she's like reading that because like right now she's writing a story about LA Knights, the most like trashy like TV ever, and she's got this like post World War like story about a struggling farm
she's an intellectual
family.
You know.
Yeah, I only brought it up because like maybe there will be something there, but you're right, it could just be a whole lot of nothing sauce. But just thought it was funny. That's what Lexi's into. She's not reading like, you know, Colleen Hoover over here. She's
that's good. Thank God.
We love our smart, big-brained Lexi. Reading about the war and rural farm families.
Yeah.
Love that. So anyways, Other than that, all I had to say before we dig into Cassie, unless you had anything, was that I found it funny when you're saying, like, Rue's grasping for straws for how much we joked about her hating Cassie the minute Lexi's, like, not being, you know, a supportive friend in that moment. She's just like, all right, who can I go to next? Like, she's still kind of just always fleeing to, like, the next person. Like, she was just going to go to Cassie's apartment. And I'm like, what was she going to do there? Like, stay there? She has nowhere else to stay? Like, she immediately just goes to Cassie's apartment, and I have to think she's just ready to jump to the next.
I think she was just looking for somewhere to hang out after. I don't think she was going to go stay there.
Not that serious, but I'm saying she, like, hates Cassie, but she's immediately like, fuck, like, now this friend hates me, so let me just bounce to the next. Like, like, why would you go to Cassie for any insight on anything? You think Rue's
I thought she was just going to go hang out there because she was upset with Lexi. I didn't think it was much deeper.
Maybe to dog on Lexi together or something.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, that's not what was happening.
No.
This was fun.
It was not.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not gonna lie, I got the utmost satisfaction seeing Maddy slap Cassie. I feel like through all the seasons, that was kind of like a moment I've been like waiting for, and when it happened, I felt the most deep satisfaction. And I loved like it
was a long time coming.
Her long nails and her like cracking her knuckles, like that, just like that viewpoint was so like, I don't know, it was giving like, what's the Halloween guy?
Freddy Krueger.
She was like Freddy Krueger with those like nails. They were so long, but I don't know what it was, but that just gave me so much satisfaction because it was showing like the Maddy I like. So it was kind of like going back to what we were saying. I felt kind of bad like dogging Maddy for being so peaceful and like blah blah blah. I was like, oh, my real Maddy, like she's back even though it's for a moment.
Yeah,
it felt good. I was like, oh, I can breathe again. I'm like, Maddy's being like a bad bitch, thank God.
Sure. It was pretty sick when she said, I'm not your manager, I'm your fucking boss, bitch.
I wrote, wow, Alexa Demi can read a line. Like, she can provide such bite. Like, she is, sometimes I'm just like, man, what I would give to channel Alexa Demi in, like, a girl fight. She has such a biting, conniving edge to her. I just feel like every line she's delivered all these seasons, it's like, just wanted to give her a little props, because it's like, man, she makes me scared.
Yeah, that was good.
I'd be scared if I was Cassie.
Yeah, that was definitely good.
Much needed. And then I liked how she said, you know, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Yeah. Like, for once, she's finally kind of, like, coming to terms, I think, if I'm being honest.
Took long enough. Jesus.
Took way too long. I agree. But it was finally spoken, so we know where her stance is, at least for that portion.
Interesting, too, that her and Cassie both get fired. You know, they've kind of dug their collective grave, and now they're kind of like intertwined together for better or for worse in their downward spiral. But I mean, of course, like the studio chickens out from hiring a sex worker, not surprising.
Did you catch the parallel? I was wondering, do you think that again was a little like meta? Do you think they're talking about at all like Faye? Like, because they're like, why would you hire a porn star to like do a big role when you could just get an actor? And I was wondering, like, because they hired Faye and she's a porn star, and now she's, like, the biggest actress, like, ever. Because they keep kind of, like, referencing things. So I was thinking about Faye when they said that.
I mean, like, Cassie's... I think the whole, like, question about that and, like, Cassie's role in Hollywood has certainly, like, been, like, a reference to and a mirror of that situation. But obviously the outcome's different in the real world, and it seems like it's probably because of the studio like level. Like, this is like primetime TV, or that's less like, you know, acceptable, whereas Euphoria is like in, you know, HBO world where you can get away with something like that easier. But I mean, the whole entire storyline of Cassie like maybe getting hired for studio work as a sex worker, I think is referential to the whole Chloe Cherry thing for sure.
Yeah, but so
that
she's
guy's
out.
Stupid office with that giant eagle and that big Superman statue. So
I know.
Dumb. You know, there's so many people just like that.
Oh, for sure. I've gone to interviews back in my film days that were just like that. Where there's like, how am I supposed to take this seriously? Like, there was one I went to. I made a note of it where there was like a giant Hulk in the corner, like a literal life-size Hulk. Yeah. And I was having to interview and really pretend I like loved Marvel movies. It was like for a production assistant job, and it was giving like the exact same setting. Just so cringe. You're like, yeah, no, I love Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah, I also liked Maddy's boss's line where she called her like good luck. She said like good luck being a modern day madame or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was funny.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, basically.
But you're right. Before I forget this thought, I was thinking like through their whole trajectory this season, Maddy and Cassie as a pair. It's like kind of fun to see where Sam's taken their characters because I feel like again, I do think people that are acting like this is so outlandish and so absurd, I'm kind of opposite. I'm like, yeah, like you watch old clips of them in season 1, they're like these, like kind of trashy cheerleaders. Maddie's like, oh, I'd look so hot pregnant. Like they're all just like kind of living this like suburb, kind of like rednecky in a way, like lifestyle. Trashy. Yeah, just like they've been trashy since day one. I think the whole fantasy of Euphoria, you get swept up and you kind of forget, like, they're kind of just like mall rats. So, like, it's not that crazy that this is where we've ended up. It's a little, like, absurdist, but, like, I kind of love that the trajectory, like you said, is that, yeah, of course, 2 girls that, like, get off on framing a guy, like, banging her and, like, posting it on. It's, like, so sleazy. Like, to Lexi's point, like, kind of psychotic and a little gross. It's like, of course they're ending up in this situation. They've always been like about this stuff. And there's a reason that even though we don't love that they're friends, given all the stuff that's gone on between them, they're kind of a perfect duo. Like you can't help but like admit, you're like, yeah, of course they're friends. They kind of both don't really have a lot of morals. Like
that leads into actually, surprise, I was going to save it for later, but snake take.
Oh, I'm curious. I didn't think
so I was going to save it for later, but it's very on subject for what we're talking about right now, so fuck it. Snake take. If God is real in Euphoria, so is karma, because in this episode, everybody is getting their just dessert. Everyone's getting what they deserve.
Interesting.
The punishments are very befitting the crimes. And exactly like what you were just saying, that's a big part of it. Cassie and Maddy have long used sex to manipulate people, to do shady stuff for soulless financial gain or personal gain, and now their downfall is tied to that same world. They're both now heavily in debt to Alamo, someone that's using sex in that same way, but they're on the other side of it. They're fated to be tied to evil sex work and evil sex trafficking criminal, because they've treated sex as like a get ahead, like manipulate people, fucking over Dylan Reed, fucking over Tyler from season 1, like,
oh, you're right,
Cassie using sex to steal Nate from Maddy. Like they've both always been very they've manipulated people through that in
all the seasons.
Amoral at the best ways, and now it's biting them in the ass, and they're both going to be stuck in horrible sex trafficking adjacent positions in debt to an evil gangster. But it's not just them. Here's Nate, who has been this horrible, abusive, person who's threatened to kill people and beat people to a pulp time and time again.
Bullied people.
Yeah, he's certainly paying
got his
a very high price for that. Dead and buried in the ground.
A literal snake take.
Yeah. What was your Instagram caption? Like
snake take
Nate. Yeah, the snake took Nate. Cal, this hedonist has fallen from all of his social grace and status, and now he's like a poor, layabout, drug addict, sex addict.
Lexi got good karma. She's been putting in the work, and now she gets a TV show.
Yeah, right. And even like any negative consequences for her like are fitting. Like she maybe has like lost friendships because she pursued her creative passion at the expense of personal relationships. Totally. And that's fine with her, and that's where she's ended up. Like, or Jules, she kind of gave up on pursuing her passions professionally, so she's kind of doomed to pursue her passion meaninglessly in this little tower where nothing happens, and her life is kind of conversely passionless. Like she doesn't have serious emotional relationships with people. So that's kind of very fitting.
Well, that's a great observation.
Everybody's getting what they deserve.
So you're saying Buddhism is... I'm kidding. Isn't karma Buddha?
I'm just saying there's it seems like there's a very straightforward sense of karma in Euphoria. Which is why, saying even Ollie, and he's doomed to... watch his friends die and carry on their memory and suffer their loss as he tries to do whatever good he can in the world to make up for his crimes. And that's why it's interesting to see where Rue could end up, because she could go either way. She's done similar evil, and will her karmic retribution be similar to Ollie's?
Yep.
Or does she have to pay with her life for these things?
I really hope not.
Even I thought it was interesting too, and the Nazis are saying you've been like a blessing to us. Like that's part of her karmic retribution, is that she's helped these awful people. She's brought blessings to the Nazis. Like, what could be worse than that, I know. That's a big karmic moment for her, is hearing the Nazis be like, you've been great for us. You put us in a good position strategically. Yep. You brought us Faye. And it's like, damn.
She's done a lot of
things. Exactly.
Well, and then we find out later she's literally, helping Alamo with... We'll get into it, but with the women.
Yeah, the angel, sex trafficking thing.
She's playing a bigger role than she understood.
Yep, and she's definitely suffering the karmic fates for it. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's a great snake take. I love it.
Nas, he's a death dealer. He's a coffin maker, and here he is. He's probably ending up in that coffin Nate was in, at the end of this episode. They're probably just going to put him right back in that hole.
You're not wrong.
So that was my thought. It's a very karmically aligned fictional universe.
It makes sense.
Everybody's getting what they deserve in these last couple episodes.
For sure. I like that. Love it.
That's the snake take.
Snake take. Love it. Well, I guess on the note of animals, I also loved when Maddy was cleaning her place and was like, God, a fucking pig. I just was cracking up. She was like, ugh, a pig.
Cassie's the classic, the Miami girl. The busted ass Nissan Altima air mattress, Roach apartment. But
so
then,
bad.
Going to Miami and pretending she's, glam.
Well, I also love, too, I always notice all the details. Maddy definitely put her touch on the apartment. When she invites that guy over, you can see in the background, she has, luxury soap. Everything's clean. There's, candles. It's all, sexy. And I'm like, oh, Cassie would never be able to decorate this apartment like this.
Maddy must have picked the playlist, too, because the songs during that scene were pretty bitchin'.
Yeah, they were.
Sex and Candy, Marcy Playground, and then the other one was A Cure for Pain by Morphine.
Love.
Which I've actually been listening to a lot this year, so it was funny to see it crop up there. But those two songs go all together, and there's no way Cassie's picking vibed out, stony 90s grunge alt,
no.
tracks like that for a sexy evening.
No, she's listening to the top
Cheetah Girls or something, or
shitty,
DJ Khaled or something.
Yeah, top 20 Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
or something.
Bruno Mars.
Yeah, I also wrote, you've talked about this before, a little tiny note, but I noticed you had mentioned, I don't remember if it was this season or just previous seasons, but you have noted that you really love how Euphoria does such a good job of tricking you with the lighting. It's almost disorienting. You don't know if it's day or night. Mm-hmm. And I noticed when she was dancing all sexy with the shot, their window was golden orange as if it was completely daylight out. But I thought that was intentional, which... They could have been out later than they show, whatever. I'm not getting into the weeds, but I kind of like that, you never know where you are in Euphoria. I noticed it a lot this episode. In Ollie's apartment many times, you look out the window and it's, super tinted and, orangey, and you're just
True.
I literally never know if it's night or day,
yeah.
But in a good way. It kind of makes you feel this, haze of just, I don't know.
Disorienting.
Yeah, kind of messy. Like how their lives are. You feel almost I don't know if it's morning or night because Cassie's fucking crazy.
Yeah, they have brought that back a little bit.
Yeah, I just noticed when she's pouring the shot and doing that silly dance over him, I looked in the background and literally the window you would have thought it was mid-afternoon. You're they went to dinner.
Yeah.
But again, just kind of cool.
He put on his good Family Guy hat again for dinner.
What did it say, the hat?
It was the same one he already wore, the Family Guy one. It says violence in movies and sex on TV
the same
or
one.
something. Yeah.
He didn't even rotate.
I thought we might get another new Dylan
hat
from phrase hat, but no.
And then so then...
That was really funny when they were boning, and he was like, stop coming!
I know, I was like, wow, we've never heard that in a show before? That was pretty funny, yeah. It was funny. It was great, yeah. That whole scene was fun. And then Maddy, again, like Maddy and Cassie, like you were talking about their fate, it's like they're giddy. Like she runs out and they're like back, the duo's back. They're like laughing. This is great. Like, yeah, they're really giddy over like fucking over this. Like, I don't want to say like poor celebrity, like who cares, but like it is kind of like dirty to do that to anybody. Yeah, like it's gross.
It's a pretty despicable thing. He's like no golden child, but.
No, but does he deserve to get like slandered on, I don't know.
No, I mean, it's ultimately shady.
The only other thing I'll say, maybe you'll completely disagree with me, because Alex is like such a David Lynch connoisseur, whereas I'm a little more like, I'm super into it, but I'm just not as like attentive as you are, and you're like obsessed, where I'm a little more like seen all the movies. But I was thinking, they kind of remind me, maybe we've already said this and I'm crazy, but this episode specifically, I was like, they're so, to me, giving the Mulholland Drive girls, Betty and Rita, like, especially their looks. You say that,
because I wrote that too.
You did?
Just about the looks, but yeah.
Especially the
the last scene with the grave digging scene. I wrote the same thing.
Really? Yay! I love when our thoughts align. It makes me feel smart.
Yeah, they really.
Makes me feel
you
like
are smart.
A film buff. No, not smart.
You are smart.
I meant like, I know I'm smart. I meant like it makes me feel smart in film. Like,
yeah.
Well, what's the word? Like, well
versed.
Yes, well versed in the film world.
Yeah,
I'm not as like on Letterboxd like Alex.
I wrote the same thing. I think it was maybe intentional, because it felt like they were really styling Maddy like Laura Herring, the way her hair was styled.
I mean, she looked great this episode, by the way.
And her look was reminding me a lot of Laura Herring, and then the really like bleached out like white lighting, and then like the peroxide blonde and the dark-haired woman right next to each other in that lighting out in the desert, and it's dusty and it's night. I was like, yeah, that's looking very Mulholland Drive.
Also not exact, but the tiny concept of like Cassie being similar to Betty. It's Betty, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Betty and Rita.
Yeah.
Cassie being like Betty, this like naive, wanting to be famous, Hollywood, and then there's this more rehearsed, like more experienced person kind of guiding you through. I felt like maybe that was a little bit like that. Like, obviously nowhere near the same, but like Maddy's giving like the Rita character. Like, been there, done that, knows her shit. And then there's like this other girl who's just like, I will do anything. Like, I want the fame. I want the glory. Like, very naive.
Yeah.
Betty is like one of the most like naivete. Like, she's so like head in the clouds to me.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking like maybe there's just a tiny bit of inspo there. But yeah, I thought even if it just looks, it was definitely giving both of them from Mulholland Drive.
For sure, yeah.
But anyways, that's all I got on for that part. We'll get back to Cassie and Maddy, of course, later. But I think we got to go to Ruin Ali.
Yeah, let's do it.
Loved this, by the way. I thought it was an excellent scene.
Nice scene. Mm-hmm.
Really beautifully written. I also felt like, again, just love seeing Zendaya and Coleman on screen. I feel like you can just tell that their like chemistry is so palpable, and it does feel at times things like we know that Euphoria a lot of times is improv, and there were like a lot in there where I was like, I wonder if that was like written on the page or if they're just like we're going at it. Like, I just thought it was very natural. I just thought it was very impactful given like their history throughout all the seasons. And yeah, I mean, I took a couple notes. I mean, obviously, I caught on that the title was literally said by Ollie. Yeah. He shows up, rain or shine, which is so cute and so true.
That made me wonder, I mean, he makes it clear that he'll do anything for Rue. He'll step in. He's a war vet. He's got a gun.
Calling what I was thinking.
I was like, is he going to show up big in episode 8 and save Rue's ass? That was what I...
And when she leaves the sticky note and he looks at it, he kind of like puts it down like, and he say.
He throws it in the trash.
Oh, he does. You're right.
Yeah.
But I feel like in that moment I had the exact same thought. I'm like, damn, is that a possibility? Is he going to be her literal, like, her angel, if you like, the angel to come save her?
I mean, they've made it clear that he's the type of person that will put his life on the line.
And maybe
this is what he's all about, is doing the good acts, and he would.
And what if that's his redemption?
Straight up, that he would, he would.
Oh God, I would hate that. I don't want Ollie to die. I don't want Ollie to die.
Will, and they've, made a point to say he's got military experience and a gun now, so.
Praying if there is a God.
I was thinking, I wouldn't be surprised if he has a big moment in episode 8.
God, if you hear me, spare Rue and Ollie. I can't have either of them die. But yeah, I'm scared. That's obviously like something that could absolutely happen.
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny. And Rue was like telling her experience. You're laughing because you know what I'm going to say. She's like, and then God blew up a Joshua tree.
Yeah.
The way she said it was just so Rue and so funny.
Yeah, that was good.
She was being so sincere, and then she's like, yeah, and then, he blew up a Joshua tree.
Her pitch about the homestead, it was all like, it's religious psychosis, Rue. It's all very goofy and funny. Like, she has all these ideas just because it's Jerusalem Road. She's like,
it's it.
Texas, that's the homestead. I gotta go to Texas.
Well,
all right, sure.
And again, yes, funny, but again, to not keep going back to my Mormon roots. But I only bring this up because Alex and I often off the pod talk a lot about religion and its effects on people. And I was thinking, you weren't raised in religion, so you've probably never had these kind of what you're describing psychosis moments. But I've experienced that where you're just grasping for anything, especially if you've lost someone. When I lost my dad, I've brought that up on the show a lot. I luckily didn't go through that for too long, but you do kind of just seek signs anywhere. You will literally look for them. And that is not to discredit anyone that sees those and believes. I love that. I think it's really sweet. I just personally don't have those experiences, but I remember experimenting with that a lot after my dad died. Just probably sounding crazy, hearing a song or seeing something in the sky and relating it to my dad somehow. And so I do think, although funny, I totally get that feeling of being spiraling, just finding anything. So I don't think it's weird, if that makes sense.
No, it's real.
It's funny, but I also was that's a very real thing that I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. So
yeah, I feel that's probably pretty common with addicts too.
Yeah, it's just, it's hard,
about that a bit throughout the season, but yeah, I thought also it's, Rue's definitely trying to follow the Ali path and do the good acts to make up for it, but I thought it was interesting and wise that he was but first you have to fix yourself before you can just save yourself through external means. He's forcing her to reckon with that, and she still doesn't want to hear that. She's still off and I'm gonna, do this big grand act and this will be my salvation. In Texas. Yeah. And I thought it was cool that they put that in to be it's just not that simple. She has to do the work on herself first, because what you were saying last week, it's you can't just have kids or do this big act and everything's gonna be okay. Yeah, she's still very in La La Land about the fact that she needs to fix herself to really move forward and do better in life. And
for sure.
That has not hit for her yet.
And to be fair, I like that you brought that up, because it just made me think Ollie's always been kind of bringing that message out. He's from day one has, when she's brought up her relationship with Jules to him at the diner, when all these things that have led to this point, he constantly, it's when you're telling your family member maybe therapy.
Yeah.
Maybe therapy. Your answer every time is maybe
and there's
therapy.
Always some other thing people are trying to do, and you're yeah, but
you can keep bringing it back to maybe it's you.
Yeah,
maybe it's you. All these things are real that are happening around you, but maybe it's you. Maybe you gotta do some soul searching, and that's where Rue's at. So good point. Yeah.
Totally.
I wrote that small note, but I liked that they had Ollie's character bring up fentanyl and how in America, he was it's only in America.
Baby. Yeah.
Because I think it's, again, just kind of going back to the theme of the whole Western, the American dream.
The last 5 to 10 years have really been a lot of only in America.
Literally.
that phrase goes through my mind a lot, because this country is just such a fucking shithole where the craziest, most fucked up shit happens.
Yep.
And you're just yeah, that's America, baby.
It's embarrassing.
Nobody else has a fentanyl crisis.
It's depressing. It's embarrassing.
They send all their fentanyl here.
Yeah. Well, lucky us. Wow. Yeah. America, so proud, right?
Yeah. Great.
But I also like that I guess the only other thing I wrote was that I did like that he say there's never been anything but blessings, and Rue like agreed. I thought that was kind of a sweet sentiment that like despite all these hardships she's gone through, she has had a lot of like blessings in her life. Like literally like a lot of amazing people like Lexi, like Jules, like Elliot even at the time, which jokingly I still don't know if Elliot's ever going to show the fuck up.
He's going to be in the next episode.
I've seen the craziest things. He's going
to be in the next episode.
People are like, he'll be singing at Nate's funeral. I'm like, shut up.
Why would he sing at Nate's funeral?
I think it's like a joke, but you're literally making me cry. I'm laughing.
I guess maybe he's like he's just doing bad and he's just like taking singing jobs for money. But
I think it's a joke, but
yeah,
still.
I know,
but anyways, all that to be said, I just thought it was a little like sweet sidebar of like, yeah, like Rue's had a lot of blessings, like a great family, and
it's a good. I agree, it's a good message for you to hear, and it's the kind of like worldview that I feel like could actually help her.
Yeah.
To move forward if she gets there.
I think sometimes she treats life like, why do all these bad things happen to me? Like she's trying to figure out again like her purpose, and I get that because again she's gone through a lot of really traumatic shit, and it's not necessarily her fault that she's a drug addict. I guess that's how I see it. Maybe that's controversial, but I'm like, I know you take those actions, but I do think it's unfair to just like point the finger and go, well, it's your fault, you suck. It's like, well, the poor girl went through a lot of shit, and like maybe she didn't know that she'd become an addict. Maybe it was a way of escape, and then it led to, it did. There's just a lot there to unpack, but I thought it was interesting that he laid it out so beautifully that like she's had a lot of blessings, because I think that is good for her to hear.
Yeah.
She has. But other than that, do you have anything else? I mean,
nope.
He says though, Ollie says Moses doesn't make it to the promised land, Rue. And
Rue
she's
says
like,
that's where we differ. We'll see.
I know. So
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Nate.
Yeah.
Or I guess
yeah.
before Nate, I guess we could talk about like the strip club.
There's a pretty sick scene.
Let's do that.
There's a really sick scene where I like the Steely Dan song. That's a great scene.
When they're driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
Let's do it again. That's just a great use of that song. It's a great song. It's been in a million fucking movies. Everybody knows it. But this was a good use of it. It leans back into the 70s vibe that they've been flirting with the whole season.
Steely Dan 70s?
What?
Steely Dan 70s? Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
Got it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, 70s and 80s and 90s for
sure.
But yeah, definitely a big 70s band. Yeah, that was good. Liked that a lot. Big Eddie's driving the truck with Mitch the Nazi. Yep, the poop bag. Euphoria continues. The poop bag's leaking. Of course. He's got to clean it up. It's always fucking something. That was making me think of that insane TikTok you showed me the other day.
Which one?
They showed me a crazy TikTok the other day of this woman at a pool in Las Vegas, and she had like a colostomy bag like tucked into her bikini and was like doing like a I'm sexy with the colostomy bag in public thing, but it wasn't like just like I'm sexy. The caption was literally like I'm at the pool like pooping and farting like and everybody sees or something like
I should find it.
Just so egregious.
It's
like
so bad.
So unnecessary and egregious. So I was cracking up the whole time thinking of that.
To give some background too, and I really mean this, like I'm not over here ever being like, I don't want to be canceled. Like, no, that's just dumb. It's like Alex and I always joke, like, we don't need to be posting everything in life. Meaning, like, fine, if you're going through something and you have to wear a poop bag, that sucks. I hate that for you. Like, I do want you to have fun in public, whatever, but I don't need to see the poop bag.
I wish you the best.
Tucked in your
be
bikini.
Sexy, but I don't need you to make content about your sexy
exactly.
poop bag.
I can't find it, but she's pretty much like Alex said, like flexing. She's like, when you're at the pool and your poop bag's showing and you're like letting it out for the day, like, and you're just like, what?
Heinous. So yeah, that was fun. Kitty's fattening her ass up. She's eating ice cream and Twinkies. Good for her. She's gonna get that mega BBL. She's gonna be in debt to Alamo forever.
Like,
that one girl was like, "What's your interest rate?" Smart, the only smart one in there.
I know, and also I like how she's like, "And I've never been to Mexico." I'm like, "Oh, honey, you're in for a real treat."
Yeah.
You're not going to like Cabo.
I know.
What are these girls thinking? I mean, I get it, but I'm like, dude,
Yep. And then we get, like you said, the DA is listening. Some good Hawaiian shirts in this episode. The DA,
you are loving the Hawaiian shirts.
The DA guy's got a good Hawaiian shirt, and so does Rue. Also, the DA guy was just in the new Mandalorian movie that we saw over the weekend. Yeah. Giant fucking Star Wars nerd over here. His name I have in here somewhere. Oh, actually, we're going to go down Star Wars path for just a second.
Oh, God.
His name is Hanky Madeira.
In Star Wars?
No, the actor's name.
Oh, okay.
That plays the DEA guy.
Okay.
He plays an evil Imperial in the new Star Wars movie. But also, another guy from this episode was in The Mandalorian, the giant Armenian Artur, who I've been meaning to give a shout out to this guy actually for the last couple episodes, and I keep forgetting. His name is Matt Willig. And he's been in a lot of stuff.
And sorry, he's the accomplice to the Armenian guy.
Yeah, he's the giant guy that keeps beating Nate's ass. Okay. And I've been just meaning to give a shout out to him because I've really enjoyed his performance. He's funny. Mm-hmm. He brings that great, like, comedic menace to the role. And every time he's on screen coming for Nate's ass, it's always funny.
You always know what's coming.
He has, like, a good vibe on screen. He's got a lot of charisma. He's kind of funny. He's like smelling the flowers. I also like how he carries around that really tiny backpack that he wears. So shout out to him. He played Hogsworth in The Mandalorian.
Hogsworth.
So we got two Mandalorian actors in this episode.
That's fun. Yeah. I love that for you, babe. Star Wars.
I know. Fuck yeah. But yeah, the Ruin G, Marshawn Lynch are rolling up to Laurie's place.
That's a great scene.
Really funny how he was just ripping on Rue in that whole scene.
What do you say? He's like, you walking like your stanky pants
you walking
or
like
something?
your booty stank. And when she bashes her face on the thing, he's like, what the fuck is that? Yeah. But also, what is Rue's plan here? I'm a little confused why she's talking to Laurie. Like, she has to rob them, but I thought she was gonna sneak in, like, after dark with Faye's help, or maybe not. So I don't understand why she would ever bother or put herself in the danger of having to actually interact with them.
So I understand. I don't think she has a choice. I think Alamo and them are like, they literally, that's why he drove her there. They're like, go ahead. And it's like, well,
no, to rob her to get their shit back.
Alex, did you see it's a fortress. Like, there are people on guard at all times with huge guns. It had to be an inside man job. She would have Rue getting into a drug fortress without getting caught. Like, she'd get killed and shot, I think. So
I don't think so. I disagree. They were all out at the bonfire partying. They're not that buttoned up. The Nazis are sloppy.
Sure. I think also, like, just because of the storyline, I think it had to go this way. Like, we kind of have to get the Faye and the Rue of it all. We kind of have to get them revisiting. Seems like a terrible plan. You know what I was going to say, though, is opposite. I feel like they receive Rue. Again, it just shows how dumb Laurie is. Like, I do think a part of them still, despite them wanting to kill her or whatever, I do think Laurie still was kind of looking at her like, like, thinking Alamo tried to kill her. And I'm like, Alamo, do you see how scary this man is? He would have just killed Rue. Like, she wouldn't come with just a broken nose and show up and be like, she says, Alamo tried to kill me. I'm like, and they're going to believe that?
Well, I don't think they do believe it. That's why they're going to kill Rue.
I think Laurie kind of did. I think the guys were like, bullshit. But I'm saying Laurie is stupid. She was looking at Rue and kind of like evaluating, and I was like, I think she's kind of like not fully sold. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, come on. Laurie was not giving like... Laurie never...
She's not sold or she is sold? What are you saying?
Sorry. I think Laurie, like, believes Rue a little bit.
Really?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. I think they 100% know Rue's up to no good. That's why they want to kill her.
Well, before we get too deep into that, because that comes later in the bonfire, we have some more to cover. So did you have anything else over she walks off, has the stinky ass, or whatever.
Yep. No.
Rue walks off with the stink butt.
No. Nothing else on that.
What I have next is, I guess, like, again, we kind of have to group things. So let's just, I think we have to pour one out for Nate, which I don't know if you need a transition.
Yeah.
Alex, literally, you guys are going to die, like, because it's morning and we have coffee and mine's almost gone. He literally got a beer and put it on ice in a red cup.
Gotta keep it cold.
You're insane.
This is good in the morning too. I mean, ideally I'd pour a little orange juice in here and make a brass monkey, but
I have a tiny sip left, so maybe I'll have a sip of your beer. I feel like that's only fair. Eyes to Nate Jacobs. Wow.
Damn.
Another one bites the dust.
Yeah, R.I.P. What a, what a villain.
So yeah, Nate, crazy. I mean, I have so many things to say.
The ultimate big purple dirty rat bastard.
You know,
an all-time great TV villain.
All-time great. Like, I actually mean it. When I say pour it out, I found myself feeling a lot of emotions with Nate being gone. I think
I have thoughts as well.
I have thoughts, but also, like, in a more, like, sentimental note before I, like, get into more of the funnies, I do think it's, like, the first... I mean, I'm like, correct me if I'm wrong, the first big character, I mean, obviously, like, not in real life, I'm talking fictional character, to pass, like, to die, like, in the show. Yeah, we've had side characters, but from the original, like, crew, the main cast, it's like turning it's weird. You're like, oh my god, like, you don't think it's gonna, like, kind of affect you, but...
Big deal.
Big deal, and, yeah, I mean... I'm literally, like, speechless, but I love when he's shouting through the pipe. He's like, I'm down here, help!
I know. He goes, I'm underground, I'm down here.
He's like, I'm down here. It's like, honey, we know, like, and you're gonna be down there for a while.
They gave him the whole thing was a real, Tarantino... shout out, buried underground, like Kill Bill, and the snake. It's kind of like the snake that gets El Driver and Bud's camper, the whole thing.
Totally,
all very Kill Billy.
I loved all the behind the scenes, by the way, like the HBO, the little after episode where they talked about Jacob being in the coffin and how the rattlesnake was like a boa constrictor.
Oh yeah,
and he was like, it was actually really cuddly. Like I had to like nudge it a couple times to have it like crawl up my body, and had a fake rattler on the end of its tail.
Well, it was so funny too. Like you posted that story with the snake, and someone commented on it and was like, the snake's being different like really took me out of it. I'm like, okay, come on.
The snake took you out of it.
That the continuity issue there is really the big takeaway here. Like, what are they supposed to do? If they can't put a real rattlesnake in there with him.
No.
So, did you want them to CGI the snake?
No,
like, I'd rather have the real snake that looks a little different than them CGI.
Also, I'm sorry, it didn't look different. Get a life. It didn't look different.
It looks a little different, but who fucking cares?
No, I have a couple glasses of Cooks while watching, and it didn't change for me.
Quit discriminating.
That
was a
I took a screenshot
comment.
of what I liked what Sam had to say, which I don't know where he said this. That's why I took a screenshot of it. It might have been like an article, but you can keep. Okay, he said, there's this funny thing where I know what the audience wants in terms of justice or karma. So I think about how to deliver that in the most agonizing and painful way possible, to the point where people start wondering if they really wanted to see it happen. It's almost like saying, hey, you all wanted him to pay for what he did, didn't you? The sense of this complicity with the audience always fascinates me. In the end, questions linger, like, did he deserve something better? Did he deserve that fate? And I kind of like that the show sparks that kind of reflection. Banger. I do too, because I thought the same thing. Like, I know it's silly, but I was kind of like, oh, like, does he have to go this way? And then I'm like, why am I even thinking this way? Nate is a monster. Like, he should go worse. But I was like, it's scary seeing someone get buried alive. I'm like, damn, like.
It's really interesting when directors play with like giving the audience what they want in a smart way like that, because it's so rare. I feel like directors are often very reactionary and intentionally try to give the people what they don't want. Like the fans, there's obviously like pure fan service, like Marvel type bullshit.
Sure.
So there's that. But I feel like, most people that are really trying to do something interesting usually prefer to like challenge the audience and not give them what they want. So it's interesting seeing someone who's writing that line and considering what the audience wants and giving it to them in kind of like almost a perverse, like twisted way. And making them deal with it. And that's definitely... I was thinking that's what he was doing with Nate here too as well, and it's interesting, and I have some like thoughts on it, but
I thought it was really fun. I thought, we kind of joked last episode where I was like, let's just kill him off already, and then as he's dying, I'm the one that Sam's describing. I'm like, whoa, I didn't mean like bury him alive and have like a snake. And then I was feeling myself again, like I won't go too much into the construction site scene until later, but like I was feeling myself like, somehow Sam does such a good job where in that moment I was like feeling so sad for Cassie, and I'm like, why do I give a fuck about Cassie and Nate?
I don't know. Like you.
Not like sadness, but I was feeling, I guess more the right word is like shock and like a mixture of like, oh my God, just like horror maybe is more the right word. Like not actual like sadness, but also I tend to mix like Alex knows this about me when I'm in the world of a show and I'm so absorbed, like I mix like reality with like fiction, and that like I'm sad that like Jacob Elordi's like his chapter's closed, you know. I mean, unlike other shows too, we've been watching this for like 10 years. I have over and over. Crazy. So yeah, to like close on a character no matter who they are for me is like I get all wrapped up in it. So when I say sad, I think I was like intermixing the worlds of like, wait, no, like, this is Nate Jacobs. What? Like, we need his comedy. We need, like, it was like the dirty purple, whatever, rat bastard. Like, we need him. I was, like, getting freaked out. But, crazy.
Imagining just saying the words, like, we need his comedy is crazy because that's such a recent thing. Like, there wasn't a single thing funny about him until this season. But now he has become funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess my feelings on it are that I have no problem with him dying. Good riddance. You know, it took a while to adapt to what they were doing with his character in season 3. I ended up not minding it overall. I was enjoying the way they were showing that he's just kind of like a deadbeat now. Like we've talked about in past episodes. He's like the high school star that burns out.
Peaked too early.
I don't have a problem with that, but I do feel like we left a few like lingering threads with him that were really interesting, and I am a little bummed that they go unresolved. And that's mainly
the baby son.
It's the third brother. What is the mystery of the third brother? Was that really him at the wedding? Like, is he just a normal guy and he's alive?
No, that was his cousin or something.
I don't know.
We'll never know.
But they really like played that up as this big mystery, and it is sad to not.
Maybe when Elliot's singing at his funeral, they'll pan over to the little son.
I don't even think we're gonna see Nate's funeral. Just kidding. We probably will. But yeah, I mean the third brother, the third Jacob's brother, big mystery left unresolved. And the other big one is just that Nate was always hinted to have this very dark backstory, this part of him that was an enigma, that was, you know, couldn't be understood by his parents, this like darkness he'd had in him since he was a child. And that just kind of disappeared, and we don't really get any resolution to that. So, you know, I guess it's kind of fitting he remains an enigma. What was the deal with this guy? How did he change so much? How do you reconcile season 3 Nate with season 2 Nate?
Yeah.
What was the deal with him? And we just don't know. And you know, it's fitting for him being an enigma of a person, but I'm also feel like there's a little bit of unrealized potential with the interesting things they set up about him that kind of went nowhere. Obviously, I guess the other one is the Jules thing. His sexually confused identity in relation to her.
Sure.
That also never gets resolved in any way, really. He just ends up a straight guy with Cassie, and we don't see any more of that.
Yeah, but it's not resolved. I'll take the other side just for fun, because I kind of feel the same as you, but not really. I kind of feel opposite, where I was like, I do like the way I love the way like he died. I'm not gonna lie, like I thought it was a good way to like see him go out. I think what you were mentioning about like Jules, I think like him and her at the wedding, that was like closure for me. Like it was a good little moment. I feel like I do appreciate like now in retrospect, now seeing that he's really dead and he's gone. Now I'm like reflecting back over the season, and I'm like you, where I kind of like am not as upset with like where he ended up, given that he was a deadbeat. And also the little things that I cared about most, which was like Jules. I've always said from season 1, I did think there was something really there. So I think it was important to me that they had that interaction, albeit small. Like I thought that was just a good like, all right, I can like move on. Like I'm not as fixated on it because they had their little moment. I think they both acknowledged that something was there at one point, but it's like, I'm getting married, moving on, move forward. It helped me not like fixate on all these questions I had about him. So for me, that was like the only piece. Like the rest, I'm not gonna lie, like we've joked about the little brother, but like I don't care, and I do think...
I care. I wanted to know so bad.
Well, maybe Sam one day will, like, you know, leak it. Maybe season 4. I'm kidding.
We did get a rare Aaron sighting in this episode.
I know. I kind of loved it, though. He's like, Dad, He's like, Dad, Nate hasn't been around in a couple days. I loved it. Yeah. I also, okay, you're going to laugh. I keep going back to, like, personal stories, but when he was like, I'm down here, I was thinking about that time I got locked in that bathroom, and I was like, I'm in here. Alex knows this. I got locked in a bathroom here in New York, and at this, like, Italian restaurant, and it was, like, after the restaurant closed, and I didn't bring my phone with me, so I get in the bathroom, and the doorknob, like, fell off the door, and I literally couldn't get it open, and the music was blaring. It was, like, a busy New York restaurant, and the bathroom was, like, far away from all the activity of, like, the restaurant.
Yeah.
So I literally, like, so drama. Also, the bathroom was really small, and I'm not claustrophobic, but I was getting a little... And I was, like, pounding on the door, going, I'm in here! I was like, I'm in here! And I was feeling like Nate in that moment. I was like, when Nate was shouting through that pipe, I was like, that was me at that Italian restaurant. Pounding on the door. No one could hear me.
Keyhole.
No one could hear me. I didn't die, but I thought I was going to die. My life flashed.
Well, there wasn't a snake in there with you.
I saw everything. I saw starting this podcast. Like, my life flashed.
I did like the effect of the snake when it bites Nate was good. Yeah. I really liked how it was out of focus because it's hard to make that look good if you don't have a real snake doing that. So blurring that and keeping it super out of focus looked very menacing and cool.
For sure.
That's a good way to do it when you have to do like some CGI or whatever.
I like that you said that too, because I put a note. I love the cut from the snake right to the bonfire. Like the way it's shot, I don't know if you remember because it's a very small note, but it's so fast. Like the minute the snake bites, it just goes like to bonfire, and I was like, wow, cool. Just a cool transition. Like
snakes are so central this season. I love it.
Ultimate snake. So yeah, R.I.P. Nate Jacobs. We won't miss you too much, but hey buddy.
Yeah.
You brought it. Go. You brought the drama.
Yep. And in other news, Cassie's getting body slammed by Artur, and Maddy's looking for her and calling Lexi.
Kind of freaky. Imagine getting that call. Maddy, we're going to cut your girl's face up if you don't do something.
Yikes.
I was like, ooh, okay. Yeah. And I get that they have their history, but I'm not going to lie. This is where like I get a little human with like their friendship. I'm like, yeah, like sorry, like Maddy's not that evil.
Maddy puts it all. She's clearly not. She must have a good heart because she puts herself at horrible risk and in serious debt for Cassie and Nate, two of the people that have fucked her over most in the whole world.
I know.
So yeah, damn.
She does.
She's got a heart of gold, and she is sunk by her. I think by what Lexi calls out. Like Lexi rips her for having no moral conscience.
Yep.
She's like, what happened to your conscience? Like, did you just forget about like being a good person? Like, what the hell happened to you? And that is it. Like, she has a good heart. I think we've always seen that with Maddy.
We have.
But she does not. She doesn't express that outwardly.
Sure.
And she really doesn't have a moral compass.
I do think
that's why she's getting fucked here.
I do think that's why Maddy's overall one of the most beloved characters of Euphoria, and that could be me speaking on like a bias opinion, but I think most of the internet loves Maddy, and I think there's a lot of depth to that. I think it's because we've said it all along, she's not just the badass that like kicks the chili pot over. She has depth. Like she really cares for these people, all of them. She cares for Rue. Like she's shown love toward a lot of problematic people over the years, and
she puts it all in line for those two, and they've been the worst to her. And
I understand, but I can't say. I will be honest, and I mean this. Like I would do the same. I swear to God, if I don't care. Like all of the petty, like my friend took my boyfriend, that would go out the window the minute someone called me and said, "We're gonna kill your friend." Like I don't think any friend deserves death. Like, I'm not at that point in my life where anyone would deserve death. So she has a heart, but let's be honest, like you kind of have to be pretty fucking evil to be like, well, figure it out. I'm not saying I'd put my whole life on the line like she did. That's pretty baller, but like I'd be freaking out.
Yeah.
So I mean, also it is funny on a lighter note when she calls Lexi and she's like, can you just like check on her? I'm like, dude, again, this would be me. if someone was bothering me to check on my sister, I'd be like, no.
Oh, I know. I was like,
don't care.
Hell
like,
no.
You guys,
check her. You come over. You drive over here and check on her.
Exactly.
You're a manager. Like,
I have homework. I'm writing a TV show. Like,
she's probably doing porn thanks to you. Like,
she was like, she's probably doing her porn or whatever. I was like, crazy. Okay, so Maddy, she goes to Alamo's, and I was kind of wondering this too. I'm like, does she live there now? No. Okay, just checking. I was like, well, she was like talking to Magic in that room, and she was like, yeah, I don't know. It ran across my mind. I don't
think so.
Fire bathing suit. So Alamo has good taste. I really liked the bathing suit. I did.
That was cool.
Thought it was really cool. Yeah. Wow. What a scene. Maddy looks hot as ever. I will say that. Alexa Demi, whatever workout you're doing, bathing suit scene, I was like distracted because I was like, she looks good. So I want her workout routine.
Well, now that Sydney Sweeney's a Nazi, we have to find someone else to lust after.
Sure. Yeah. Also, though, like, I've just been seeing a lot of backlash on like her, which is horrible, but like in real life on her body, and I'm like, I think she looks great, but what do I know? Yeah, what a scene. I thought again, her and Adwale have great, on screen they really are just like enticing to watch, and I kind of love, it's weird seeing it go this way because it went from like me kind of being deceived like Maddy is. I kind of thought he saw her more as like a paternal like daughter figure. Call me, I know, naive, but I kind of like fell for it. And then when he's like, get in this hot tub, girl, I was like, damn it.
After the last episode, we know he's never gonna get played again. Like,
I know, but a part of me was like, they had such good, like, I don't know. Call me naive, but I was like,
it's business.
It was very jarring. I was like, oh fuck, she's just one of the girls.
It's business, and Maddy's been very naive about what the real situation is, and like he says, he's like, it's about time your ass wised up, and it is. And it is. And now she's like, if I'm gonna get this guy to get my friend out of trouble over some $1 million deal, like that's not just a favor between friends, that's business, and probably she probably also slept with him, like I was gonna certainly ask. Seemed like it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like,
she literally embraced the devil when he puts his arms out. I was like, she's doomed, like she's embraced, she's in bed with the devil, literally.
I wrote not important. I'm glad you said that because that's actually like, I was just like, not important, but did they hook up? Because I'm like, I guess.
It's certainly implied.
Yeah, and she looked, I think it definitely happened because she looked a little like, I don't want to go as far to be like traumatized, but like the next really cool shot I made note of was her against that yellow wall with like the deer heads. It's so like such
the
a
prey,
cool,
all prey animals. I just loved, with her in the middle. Yeah,
loved that shot, but she looked scared.
She thinks she's like this badass and can like live this life, and it's like you're so far out of your depth. It's not even funny.
It was the first time I saw Maddy and thought she looks down bad, and Maddy normally like can trick a room, right? Like it's like in season 2 and she tells Lexi about like confidence and like you just she's really good at like faking it and really bringing it, and Lexi's surprised to hear that she's ever like not on her A game, and I was like, oh, if we've ever seen Maddy off her A game, it's now. Like
she also totally fucks up and mentions the DEA to Alamo.
Okay,
like,
so
dumb,
what?
So dumb.
On that note, glad you brought it up.
You'd have to be crazy to say that.
Okay, but glad you brought it up. Why does Alamo barely flinch? Does he already know all this? Is that the presumption?
I think maybe
he didn't even react. He was cool as a cucumber.
I was wondering that too. My thought is that he doesn't want to turn Maddy off in that moment and make her think that it's serious or that he's like looking for more information. That probably tells him all he needs to know. So he's probably trying to play it cool and like that was nothing, like a joke, because he doesn't want her to think he's about to come down on Rue heavy.
Got it. Well,
okay. He's got business to do with Maddy. He doesn't want her to think that he's about to kill Rue.
Okay, fine. But
so I think he probably just took that in and like moved on, and that I'm sure that sent off all the signals for him and Nita too. I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, Alamo, wow, he's really good at playing it chill because he played it so cool that I was like, all right.
I think he's acting in that scene because even when she brings up the Nazis, he's like, haha, like what Nazis? He's like, he knows he's dealing with the Nazis, but he's pretending to Maddy that he doesn't know what that's a reference to. So I think he's doing the same thing with the DEA, probably.
I think what I took away from that scene, though, and maybe I'm wrong, but I do think we'll find out later that he found out at some point before he's in the hot tub with Maddy. I think he already
That's also possible. I mean, Bishop obviously suspects her, so I'm sure
I think it's already in the cards. I think there's going to be some big thing, like you mentioned, like there is going to be something, I think, next episode that we do not expect. And I think there's going to be a lot of, like, craziness. I think it's going to be well played out, but I think he already kind of knows. That's just my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, but yeah, wow. I mean, after the hot tub, we get into some real shit, which is the construction site, and then it kind of goes back and forth between that and the Nazi bonfire is what I have it in this notes, which is crazy.
So should we cover the Alamo, Maddy, Cassie side of things?
Yeah. So, I mean, I thought this was one of the better scenes of, like, Euphoria. For me personally, it was crazy. You mean with Rue, the construction site? Is that what we're going to? When you said that? You said Rue. Rue's not in that. But
No. What you're talking about.
Okay. I thought, when Maddy and Cassie show up to do the exchange, the money exchange, I thought that was one of the better, like, I thought that was, like, so well done. It was so fucking intense. Like, when he makes Maddy get out of the car, and I love when he's doing that thing with his rings where he's just like, he's such a good villain. He's just so good. I
like that too.
And I like when he's like using his thumb to, like, already, you just know he's gonna shoot the guy. The wind, like it's great. The whole way he carries himself in that scene is so epic. And Maddy looks just, again, terrified out of her wits, which she should be. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, not to harp on it, but, like, it's crazy that she thought this would cost her nothing, even if he didn't pay them off with real money. She's like, but you got out of this for free. It's like, well, he had to kill someone.
That's not for free, honey.
He has to live with, like, having murdered someone. Not that it seems like it bothers him that much, but killing someone is a big deal.
Well, it doesn't bother him, but it's a mess. It's a mess.
He killed someone for her. Yes. That's, like, risk and liability. Of course. So the fact that she thought just because he didn't pay the money, this wasn't going to cost her anything is crazy.
Like, to your note, he doesn't care that he killed him. It's another mess to be cleaned up, though. And he doesn't have time for this. He's running a business. Like, he went out of his way. So it's like, yeah, girl, you owe him more than... You're lucky you don't owe him more. Like, that's a big ask.
Yeah, $1 million to kill somebody and no evidence, no questions asked, and get your best friend's ass saved. Like,
just because your hometown girl is having some problems, like, with Armenian mobsters that are, 10 levels below Alamo. Like, this is a...
Not the worst deal. And, she isn't wrong. She can drive Cassie into the ground, and she could probably pay Alamo back in not that long. I mean, Cassie made, what they say, like $500K or something, not that long ago, I
know, and call me crazy, but you always make fun of me when I feel sentimental about their friendship, but I do. I like when she was like, this one's special. I think she really meant that. I don't think that was, like, to convince him of anything. I think in that moment, she really is freaking the fuck out, and Cassie is, despite it all, is, like, her longest friend. This is someone she's grown up with her whole life. So, like, I do think that that's, like, an intense moment. For me,
those two are going to hell together, so it's
great,
fitting.
but I still, like, I love the duo. And I think, when he was like, you must really love this girl, I'm like, yeah, in that moment, I was thinking the same. I'm like, you must.
You must. Shit.
You must. But yeah, I was low-key, like I said, maybe sad's not the right word, but I think it just speaks to, like, Sydney Sweeney's acting yet again, and Alexa Demi. Like, I think they both in that scene were excellent, and it did make me feel some sort of emotion. I don't know if it was sadness over Nate, but, like, I was feeling lots of things. That whole scene was excellent. I really just was, like, sitting at the TV like, holy shit, this is going so bad. Mm-hmm. We went from cheering in high school at the pep rally to this. Like,
that's the way it goes.
Cassie and Maddy.
Classic. A tale as old as time.
Yeah. Ooh, heavy.
Yeah, Nate's puffy ass face.
Oh, and then was it during this scene where who is it? I don't know the character's name, but the guy gets a call from Jules. Do you remember that part? Did you catch that?
Who gets a call from Jules?
Okay, so one of the Marshawn Lynch, I don't know his character's name. When he's in the car, I could be totally off on the timeline on this. I'm trying to remember when it happens, but I made note of it. He's in the car. Rue's phone is on the seat because she's gone into Lori's. So, and it is nighttime. So maybe it's him watching while she's staying at the bonfire.
Yeah.
The phone lights up. Yeah. Rue's phone. And it says Jules.
She's not calling G, though. She's calling Rue.
No, I know. But I'm just mentioning it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, you said, you acted like you hadn't seen it.
Well, because you said that some guy gets a call from Jules, and I was like, what guy gets a call from Jules?
Sorry, he gets the call. It's not for him, but he just, ends it, and it's like, Jules, missed call. And I'm like, shit, that sucks. That's crazy. I guess I did not see that till the second rewatch. I didn't really pay much attention.
I was wondering why Rue didn't take her phone. She makes a point to say to Lori, I don't have my phone, Alamo took it. But I was like, what is the reason to not take your phone? You know why?
This is what I mean by I think Alamo knows. I think he knows about I think he has plans up his sleeve that we are not.
What does that have to do with why Rue would or would not take her phone to Lori's house, though? He told her to leave it?
Yeah, maybe there's stuff that incriminating, like what she finds in the safe. Maybe there's stuff that he does not want on the record, so maybe he told her to leave it in the car.
Interesting.
Maybe it's in the plan. Why would he want everything being exposed? If she's going to get all that shit out of the safe, he knows that she doesn't know what's in there. It could be incriminating. If he thinks he's going to get out of this, I mean... It's a big deal to have IDs of 1 million missing women on recording. That's what I thought, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm thinking in the hot tub, the reason he didn't really react was not because he was caught off guard and played it cool. I think he already knew and has a plan. Yeah. And if Alamo's the villain I think he is, which is, total badass and really has all along really not fucked up too badly. The robbery was kind of a slip up, but he wasn't there. It was kind of his men's issue at that point. I think all along he's kind of held a tight ship, so I think he's always a step ahead in my opinion, but I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. Could be wrong.
Yeah.
But hey, hello, Paige was right. There was something in that safe. I nailed that the first time it was brought up, not later. I was like,
yep, true.
He brought that up when he was playing his little trumpet, and I was like, huh, and it stuck with me the whole time, and I kept trying to fucking figure it out.
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of the low-key reveal is that he's
there's a whole other operation.
It seems like he's got a sex trafficking business.
Which we kind of we guess when Angel happened, you and I definitely
it wasn't clear what was happening. Sure. And it could have just as well been she's a drug addict, she's a problem, kill her. And
business.
Get her out of here.
Business as usual.
But it seems instead he's
collecting trophies.
He's anonymizing women and taking their IDs and sending them out in the sex trafficking world where they're untraceable.
And is that what you think? Because everyone.
Yeah, I don't think they're trophies. I think he's just doing it because it's
I kind of thought maybe they were.
Who is this person? They have no. If you have identity, it's easy to trace you and where you're from and call your people and.
So I'll be honest.
Attach a crime to it.
Sure, not that big a deal, but I think it would be creepy if he just killed them out of hating women, how he was never.
I don't think so. He's too. He'd rather make money off them. Sure. He's very businessy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a serial killer. I think he's I think he's running a sex trafficking operation, and if anybody causes him too much trouble, you get anonymized, and Lori was talking about, they're going to give you the operation, they're going to nut up your tongue, and they're going to sell you to be some rich, scary guy's sex toy.
People were noting on the internet, I know this is not that important, but I thought it was interesting how when Lori first gives Rue heroin in the bathtub, and that whole scene where she gets to know Lori's I know some really scary people. Mm-hmm. And she says, I forget the exact quote, but it's kind of hinting to Alamo. And I know that is it's not that important, but you're wondering so is Lori also a chess piece in this? Meaning she obviously must know. They don't care that they have all the IDs in the safe. They're not questioning it. Are they a part of it? Are they a piece in the system? Are they also working to...
Unclear.
You know what I mean though? Because they clearly don't give a shit that all those IDs are in their safe.
Unclear. Well, they probably just have them because they're of value to Alamo, and that's the point, is that they robbed him of something valuable to him.
Holding it,
Which is evidence against him, basically. It's incriminating evidence against him.
Yeah, but I just wanted to pull that back because I thought, Lori was right. She does know some very scary people, Rue, and remember Rue was whatever.
Well, her are pretty fucking scary, too.
True.
Fucking Nazis.
Oh, I was gonna say, so this scene was giving, it was kind of like, it was so haunting that it was reminding me of the scene you love in Bones and All. Like, the cannibal kind of just like, it was reminding me of like the totally. Fire,
Yeah.
I mean, I could explain it more, I guess, but there's this scene in Bones and All, if you haven't seen it, beautiful film, Alex and I love it, but there's this really haunting scene where the two main, I won't give it away, but the two main characters are like out camping and they find something out about the guy they're camping with. A
scary campfire encounter.
And it was giving that in this. So go watch that movie because it's really good and I don't want to give you too much, but that was reminding me of that. And I think it was the first time, if I'm being honest, where in all of this season, I've been afraid of them. I know it sounds stupid, but I've always just thought of them as like dumb, annoying rednecks.
Yeah, they've been buffoonish at times.
And this was the first time where I was like, oh, like I wrote, my stomach was literally in knots when he was like, what are we going to do? Like cut off her eyelids? I was like, oh, that guy's serious. Like,
that's why I was like, why was Rue's plan not to just sneak in? Like, how did she think this was going to go down where they aren't going to, like, punish her in some way for being disloyal? Like, she just thought she was going to talk her way through that? Like, they're not the brightest, but they're not that stupid to just let her back in without, you know,
it's
something
scary,
bad.
though.
Something really bad happening.
Yeah. I think it all just pulls back, though, Rue's constant theme of just being so naive and not really understanding the reality and the weight of all this. And yeah, I just wrote, it was haunting. Like, for the first time, I was like, oh, these guys are no joke.
Great scene. It was,
they're dumb as fuck, but they're
we were right calling out that, like, Sam should do horror last week.
Oh, my God.
Because this week I was like, okay, we get the snake scene, Nate's fucked up, creepy face, the whole Nazi bonfire thing.
The shot
I was like,
yeah,
this is all like, this is all good horror stuff. And, you know, when you put all the moments together across the whole season, I'm like, yeah, you should make a horror movie. Jules getting wrapped in plastic, Angel talking about the desert, like,
or honestly, or a western like
there's
horror.
Like you know, with some of the main genres he's kind of been referencing this season. There's also been a little bit of that like SoCal horror too, like Mulholland Drive even.
Totally.
Stuff like
Would
that.
love to see it.
Yeah.
Sam, please.
This episode was definitely giving me a lot of that. The Nazi bonfire was scary, but you know what though, it needed scarier music. I was like, the music should have been way fucking scarier in that scene. Like, serious, scary-ass metal or something is probably more... I mean, it wasn't, like, unbelievable that they'd be listening to what they were listening to, but I was like, it would be even scarier. It could be even scarier if you set
the same thing.
To different music.
I literally took the same note.
That was one of the points where I was like, eh.
Could have been better.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, and I was... This is so random and not important, but I was like, damn, when we were just sitting in that room, I'm like, what are all those flies? God, this place is dirty. But like, on top of that, I also was like, I wasn't really paying attention in previous episodes at this house. Like, I guess this was the first time I noticed how dense and, like, crazy this fucking place is that they live in. Like, I guess I just thought it was like this trashy redneck house, and then I'm like, oh no, like when they shoot the room, when they're like creeping down the hallway, I'm like, oh, there's like tunnels and shit, like long.
They have
like,
the whole drug operations all underground.
Yeah, which I knew, but I thought it was just like a basement. I did not understand. I missed that whole, I guess I just wasn't paying attention to detail, but in this shot I was like, oh, like this is the real deal. Like this is a literal compound.
Yeah.
It's huge. But yeah, I was just like, oh, shit. Yeah, this is a lot. But yeah, I mean, scary. And then, I mean, Faye and Rue have their moment.
Faye finally being disgusted by the Nazis is hilarious.
I loved the flash of her tattoo. I was dying.
The part, that was funny. Dying. It's like, girl, the part where you get disgusted by the Nazis being evil is supposed to come before you get the swastika tramp stamp, not after. She's like finding out the dog
She's
stuff.
worried about the puppies.
Girl, like, I know she probably did not graduate high school, but like,
how dumb are you?
Like, did you know nothing about the Nazis?
I know.
Come on.
I think, to be fair, though, I think she has never been painted as this, like, intellect.
Oh, yeah, duh.
So,
we know.
But, yeah, and she's, she's I don't know how I feel about Faye. I feel like I don't take anything, I don't care to, like, dive too deep into her character, personally. I think she serves her purpose. Yeah, she's, like, the the stoner dunce. Like,
I mean, what she think is gonna happen to her when he wakes up and she's helping Rue open up the safe?
I know.
Like, I mean, she might play it off, but
the only time I liked her character a little more was when Fez was around. I really liked her and their relationship and her helping him out, and she had some like redeeming moments there. But then I'm just like, whatever. I've just seen a lot of people be like, Sam's destroyed her character. I'm like, she was never that deep, you guys.
Yeah, she was always like a hangabout crackhead.
A fun,
you know, like,
no, it wasn't meant to be taken that seriously. I mean, come on.
Agree.
She got a swastika tramp stamp. Like, I don't think there's a lot there.
Yeah.
But that whole scene was super well done. So fucking intense. Watching them like creep to the safe. Very haunting when Rue finds the IDs. A lot, but yeah, I mean, shit. We have a episode coming up where we know that Rue's ass is gonna be in some kind of trouble because Faye screams and wakes up Wayne, and who knows what's happening next, but it's intense. I also thought it was funny that Faye was like, you lie. Faye's like spiraling. I'm like, shit, God, Faye, shut up.
You're the one that said there was money in the safe. You're the liar.
Also, God, like, such a dunce. I'm like, God.
A total dunce.
Because to me, I'm like, again, like, we gotta be yelling. Like, I get that you thought there was money in there, but you really think Rue, like...
Well, earlier she was mad they cut Rue's hand. It's like, what do you think they're gonna do now? They're gonna blow her head off, right? And they're gonna make you blow her head off, actually. He even said that. Like, she's just so dumb.
I know. And, I guess I forgot to mention... I think it'll be interesting if, and who knows how this will all play out, but I do think it's crazy that they're like, we're going to make you kill Alamo. I'm like, oh shit. Because if that actually like is a plot line that happens, woo-wee.
It's going to be crazy.
She'll be backed into a corner. If that's really how it goes down, she doesn't have a choice. Like they're literally going to cut off her eyelids if she doesn't do what they say.
Yeah, it's all going to be crazy. Things are going to, be messy and insane in the next episode.
I'm scared.
It's gonna go down.
I'm scared.
It's gonna be wild.
Ooh, but yes, overall, just general, I don't really honestly have much else. I just thought this episode was excellent. Every episode gets better. I will say, though, this was, like, obviously such a turn for Euphoria. Like, we've never, I don't think, had anything this tense or, like, scary, I would say. Like, tense in a different way.
It was feeling very movie-like. You know, I'm sure that you could probably cut episode 7, 8, and maybe 6 into, like, a movie.
Totally.
Yeah, it's giving, like, the end.
Yeah. Poor Alex, too, because of his travels and his trip. He's literally leaving the country like 30 minutes before the finale drops.
30 minutes before the finale leaves.
I laid down the ground rules, though. Alex is never on social media anyway, but when we were podcasting, he sometimes is. So I'm like, you literally cannot touch your phone. Like, you can't touch it.
Well, I'll be in the air, so I won't have to worry about it.
I know, but even when you land, you might forget and just open your... You know when you're bored and you just open your phone? I'm like, you're going to literally have to write yourself a note. A sticky note. Like, don't open social media. Because everyone always gets mad at me for, like, spoiling. I'm like, spoiling?
It's blasphemy, but I'm hoping I can watch it on the plane for timeliness sake, even though it really deserves a better screen, but...
Hey, we'll figure it out. You'll have plenty of times to rewatch it, because I always rewatch Euphoria. I'll probably restart the season right when we're done.
You know what I was thinking Sam should do next is, as a horror, he should do a Manson thing, because there was a lot of Manson stuff with the Nazis, like the one guy's reading Helter Skelter, and I noticed that he also, his tattoo on his chest is like the Manson eyes with the swastika tattoo.
Sam does?
On the tattoo on the main Nazi, Wayne, that Faye's dating, on his chest. I couldn't figure out what that tattoo was, and it's Charles Manson's eyes and like his swastika that he carved into his forehead. That's like tattooed like right there.
Sam.
And then he had the book too, and I was like, he could really, with all the California creepy gang crime killer stuff, plus like teenage girls, he could really put that together and do like a Manson like mini series or something.
I'm convinced Sam could do anything.
He should do like an 8-episode Manson
series.
That'd be cool.
But yeah.
But anyways, that's
end of an era. Like, even though this was in the finale, like I said, though, this was probably one of the most... I mean, we had a main character die. Big deal for us here on the pod. That was a big episode.
Nate Jacobs. One of the great TV villains. A really hateable character. A character you just really detest. Like Professor Umbridge from Harry Potter. Season 1 and 2, you just fucking hate Nate.
I feel like... Even that's a light comparison to Nate. Like, meaning, you're right.
Really hate
he's
Nate,
one of the worst.
Like, in 1 and 2. Not so much in 3, but he's really just, like, an all-time hateable villain. Which, shout out to Jacob Elordi. Great work.
I was just going to say, like, Jacob Elordi, wow, big shout out. But also, like, look at where we've talked about it, but look where his career has gone. And you're like, so well-deserved. Like, what a fun chapter for him to close on. I hope he felt good about it. He seemed like it. Like, he was smiling and all the after. I think he... excuse me. Well, I was thinking about Jacob Elordi. I'm like, I really, respect about him in general, just as an actor, is that he seems down to do anything. Like, he doesn't seem like he cares so much. He doesn't get... I think he's often labeled this, pretentious, method, so in the weeds, and I'm like, I feel like he's also just kind of fun. Like, he seems down to do anything. He seems
pretty easygoing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's as serious as people map him out to be. I could be wrong, but I think it's fun to watch him close out this chapter. And wow, has he really impressed, me over the years. So,
agree.
End of this chapter, but excited to see him in more stuff. But yeah, wow, what an episode. Crazy. Hope to see Elliot in the finale singing at his funeral. Doing the little...
I hope to see Ali with a 12 gauge in the finale.
Dude, same. And, that'd be awesome. I do think that'd be epic, but I do not want him to die. Like, please. Do you think anyone of the other main characters will die? Like, let's put Rue aside. Do you think Maddy and Cassie have a bad fate? Or do you think, no, they're just...
I think they have a bad fate, but I don't think they're gonna die.
Do you think they're both gonna have to, strip for Alamo? Meaning now that Maddy's, no.
I don't think
She's just in debt, but she'll still be doing her things.
Maddy's worth more business managing the girls. Like, she can bring in way more money that way.
So she's going to be Rue now, is what we're getting. Maddy's now the club.
It's kind of...
Yeah, I'm kidding. But, she's going to be taking that role on.
Yeah.
Oh, my only other thing for next episode. Any predictions of, where Jules will fall into place? It feels a little like... She wasn't even in this episode, which, I mean, I'm not surprised by that. But you're like, oh, wow. That's, if anything... That is the only plot line I'm a little nervous about.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think Sam will do a great job. I really do. But I was only thinking, that's a pretty big plot line to tie up. Or to, not tie up, but how's that going to pan out? I'm just, I'm worried. I love Rue and Jules, so of course I'm worried. Because if this is the last season, I'm like, oh my God, are we just, never going to get roles? Probably not. Rue's probably gonna die. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Can't tell. It's hard.
There were people saying, which is really dark, but there were people guessing that Jules will commit suicide. I was like, oh my god!
That's so outlandish.
I know.
Based on what?
They were like, she didn't answer her phone call. Rue didn't answer her phone call.
That's
after the slap. I was like, okay, that's
no way, dude. So that's crazy. Absolutely not.
I'm sorry. I know it was dumb.
I don't think that's how. No, it's gonna
I don't either. But yeah, so if I'm being honest, that's the only plotline I'm a little not
I think
nervous.
Jules will leave Ellis and have some kind of reckoning with Rue, but I don't know what.
I hope.
I think we'll leave Jules on an upward trajectory for her personal life.
I hope so. But yeah, other than that, I'm so excited. I really am. I'm excited, but I'm also really nervous, and this has been a lot. But
let's go.
How weird to be cheersing in the morning. Feels weird, but you have a beer. I still have my coffee.
So it goes.
Oh, wait. One last thing. Plugging, again, I've been bad, but this is the last episode. Please, please, please leave us a voicemail if you want. We really want to hear everyone's thoughts. The season's getting crazy. I don't care if it's even just a ending remark before we, close the season out with our recaps. Anything you have to say, I'll link it below. I'll have it here on Instagram. We will just keep blasting it until next week.
Yep.
I want to hear everyone's thoughts. This is a crazy season.
Yeah.
Love to hear from the listeners. So please submit. We will literally not judge. We will be so nice, I promise. I just want to hear what people have to say. So that's all. But anyways, wow. See you next Tuesday, wherever it will be.
Next Tuesday. That's so euphoric.
That is so euphoric. Like today's episode? Great. We love that for you. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave us a podcast review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever the fuck you listen to us weekly. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at @so_euphoric for all the Euphoria updates you could ever possibly want in your life. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out, bitches.